How to deal with the pressures of social media. Hi, I'm Laura and welcome to the Self-Concept Bestie podcast. How do we deal with the pressures of social media? Social media, it's everything. It's everywhere. It's the first thing we look at in the morning. It's the last thing we look at night. It runs our life, doesn't it? If you want information, actually, here's my favourite one. If you're looking for a Chinese takeaway number, no doubt somebody's posted it on Facebook before they've actually just went into Google to search it. Social media is a powerful, powerful tool where we can connect with some amazing people. It gives us access to people all over the world, information all over the world. It also comes with its downsides. So how in this world that we live in now do we deal with the pressure of that? You need to start off and noticing what it is that you like about social media. How does it make you feel? Do you sometimes feel anxious when you go on and you see a neighbour of yours with a brand new car and you're wondering, why them and not me? Or somebody's on holiday, lying by the pool, having the time of their life, and you're wondering, why not me? How can I not have that? They seem so happy. And in your head, you're thinking, I'm sitting here, low, down, trying to make ends meet. But you have to detach from that. Almost comparison. Comparison is the thief of joy. When you start to compare yourselves to other people's lives, it just strips away every ounce of joy that you could have throughout your day. But they don't know your story. And here's the mic drop. You don't actually know their story either. That face that you see on social media, who's to say that they're happy? Who's to say that it's all sunshine and roses? You don't know. You just see what people want you to see. Now, when it comes to actually posting on social media, again, why do we do that? We're looking for validation, aren't we? From an external source to tell us that we're good enough, to tell us that we're worthy. Because if your photo got 100 likes and somebody else's only got 2, well, that makes you better, doesn't it? That you've got 100 and they've only got 2. That's validating your ego. It's inflating that ego of yours. That people think, oh my God, yeah, look at her. So you're validating yourself all the time by searching for that ego boost that comes with the followers, that comes with the views, that comes with the likes. But you have to detach from that validation. Because 100 likes does not mean that you are any better than the person that had 2 likes. Somebody on social media who's got 25,000 followers does not mean they're any better than somebody with 50. But what it does is creates the dopamine in our brains. It's actually, I read a study that the dopamine from the likes that you get on a photo is the same as what it's like taking cocaine. So you chase that high and it dips again because there's not as many likes coming, so you'll post again. But it has to be the perfect photo. It has to look picture perfect. It has to look like we're doing everything right, that we're the best, that we're the greatest because of what I've put on social media. You're searching for somebody else to prove that to you because deep down, you're not really found that happiness within yet. So you want everybody else to think that that's what it's like. So then you can be validated. So that ego of yours can be like, all right, okay, yeah. Okay, that means I'm okay. That means that I'm validated now. And it keeps on going. It's a rolling cycle all the time. You're chasing that high. And when you don't get it, you feel disappointed. Like that must mean that you're worthless then. Oh God, only 4 people like this. But yesterday I had 100. Well, what have I done wrong there? You start actually questioning who you are. But when you actually can post from who you are authentically, so when you actually are being you, that's when the game changes. You shouldn't be needing to try and prove who you are to anybody. If you want to post the perfect picture on social media, go ahead and do it. But if you also want to post the real stuff, go ahead and do it. Just ask yourself, why am I posting this? I ask myself that all the time before I post anything. Is who am I doing this for? If I was to post this piece of content, for instance, let's even let this podcast. If I post this podcast, who is this podcast for? Yeah, do I want it to help people? 100%. But it's because it's my dream. It's because it's me. So if I put this out and only one person listens to it, does that mean that it's been any less of a failure than if 1,000 people listen to it? No, because I'm posting it for me. So when you're posting something, ask yourself, if I post this and I don't get any likes, am I going to start questioning who I am as a person? Am I going to start questioning how good enough I am? And if the answer is yes, don't post it. You should be posting from a place of confidence, coming from a place of you. That you're posting that because you want to. You're engaging in social media because you want to, not because you are needing somebody or anything else to tell you how good enough you are. It doesn't need to be a performance. This is one thing I have learned from posting on TikTok, posting on YouTube, and also creating this podcast. Hence why I don't edit it. So if I make a mistake when I'm speaking, we move, because that's who I am as a person. Nothing is perfection. What does perfection even look like? And if I question every bit of word that I said wrong and I try to edit it and get it right, this podcast would never be launched. It would never be done. So it's raw, it's unfiltered, because that's who I am. I'm me, unapologetically, raw and unfiltered, and not scared to show up as me. Now, when I've been posting on TikTok, again, these videos, it'll be one take. Hardly, never, I think, if I count on all of my videos, probably on one hand how many of them have a filter on them. That's me, and that's what I feel comfortable doing, because it's for me. I do this to put encouragement out there for other people to be able to change their mindset and hopefully start changing their life. But that's for me because I can't do the work for anybody else. So I need to be able to do it for me. If I'm doing all of this because I need it to be other people validating me, and I need then other people to be like, oh, well, Laura, this has changed my life, this has changed my life. If I'm doing that just because of that, I'm never going to feel whole, because I need to feel whole first before I put out this unfiltered raw content. But it's not a performance that you're putting on. It's alignment. It's coming from a place of alignment. It's coming from a place of being you. It's coming from a place of being real. We are all human. And anyone who can sit there and tell you that they have a positive, happy day every single day, yeah, I don't agree with them. Do I 90% of the time have a positive and happy day? Yes. But that's my perception on that. I get to choose, I get to perceive my life through that lens, and any of the bad things that are happening, I just don't put my awareness on them. That's the difference. When you see other people doing things on social media, being happy, ask yourself how it's making you feel. Ask yourself, what is it that I am missing within me? If you're judging somebody or feeling jealous, ask yourself what it is you're judging about them. Ask yourself what it is you're jealous about. Because that will highlight to you the places within you that you are judging yourself, that you're not comfortable in your own skin doing that. Everything is just a reflection. So if somebody really irritates you on social media and is really getting you down, what is that highlighting within you that you need to go and take accountability for and sort that out? When you're just projecting that, oh, why me? Why? Why can't I have this? Why can't I do that? Why can't I have all of these followers? Why can't I be making all of this money? Why can't I have the car? You ever notice what that is that's highlighting within you? What is it telling about yourself? Start to change it. Start to change that story. That you can have whatever you want. Because you don't know this other person's story. You only know your own. You only know your own story. But everybody gets wrapped up in everybody else's life. They get wrapped up in who this person is and they put them on a pedestal. You put these people on social media on a pedestal like that's the goal. I want to be like them. But say if you actually got the chance to be like them or be them, would it really be for you? Because you don't know what they've been through. So you've got your own story. You've got your own life. So instead of putting these people on social media up on a pedestal, other people like to give you that validation, get yourself up there. Get yourself up there, and you know how to change your mindset with that? See these people that are doing that, see these people that you are looking at and you're jealous of, you're envious of. See, instead of saying, oh, why do they always get that? Change it and say, they are showing me what is possible for me. If they can have it, so can I. I am worthy of having that. See what you're looking for, what you're putting them up on that pedestal as. See that as that's the possibility for you. It's not the comparison. You don't need to compare yourself to them. Actually look at it as, this is what's possible. This is what I can do. And then start actually asking yourself, okay, what do I need to do next? What is it about my life that I really love? And what is it about my life that I don't really love, or I don't really like, or I wish was different? Because you're the only one that can change that. Nobody's coming in and handing you some magic pill, clicking their fingers, and is going to make everything amazing. You're the only one that can do the work. You're the only one that can change your own life. You want to sit, being miserable, being unhappy, and just going with the flow of life. If that's what you're happy doing, then that's okay. But if you're not, if the question is in your head and it's like, I was meant for more, this is not it. I was meant to find that happiness within. I was meant to find that love. I was meant to have that amazing career. Start changing your story that you are worthy of having that. And then what starts happening is all of this validation from social media starts to disperse because now you're so focused on you. You're so focused on what you can do and you're putting yourself out there, you're posting content, or you're even just posting for friends and family. But you're doing it for you. You're not doing it for anybody else. When you start to validate yourself, you start to see yourself as worthy. Then it doesn't matter that when you see the post that somebody's got that new car now. Do you know what you see that as? I am so happy for them. I'm so happy for them that they've got that. Because what I'm creating is just as good, if not better. They've showed me it's possible to have that. Now I get to choose my story. Now I get to choose the trajectory of my life. And I start moving there. I start taking small actions because you're changing the story of what you're worthy of. Of course you're worthy to have that. Of course you're good enough to have that. Is it scary when you first post that first real bit of content, that raw bit of content? Yes. But see, once I've done it, it took me months to post on TikTok. It really did. And see, the moment that I'd hit the post for my first post, it was like my brain instantly said, okay, right, that was not that scary. That's done. Why didn't we do it sooner? Why haven't we been posting this raw stuff sooner? Why haven't we been being ourselves sooner? Why haven't I got this podcast out sooner? Because it's changed my life now. But I'm a great believer in everything unfolds perfectly. Everything is done in divine timing. But you have to listen to that intuition. You have to listen to your body. You have to be willing to change that story and stop being the victim and stop looking at other people's lives and comparing them to your own. When you start coming from a place of authenticity, when you are not performing anymore, I'm not sitting here creating this podcast thinking, oh God, I'm going to need to redo it 10 million times. I said a word wrong. Oh no. When it comes from a place of authenticity, people see you as a real person. They see you as relatable. Start looking at yourself like that. That you are authentic, that you are absolutely amazing. And that it doesn't matter what anybody says. Now, my auntie, she'll be listening to this and she'll have a giggle actually. My content that I post on TikTok, and if I've ever sent her any of the podcasts, she always says to me, you need to stop saying they, it's those. I think that's the right way. Oh, I'm sure after she's listened to this, she'll be on the phone telling me. And she went, it's not like the grammar isn't correct. And I'm like, you know what? I totally understand what you mean. And I know it's coming from a place of love. But I'm so unaware of that when I'm speaking that if I was to start consciously starting to change that right now, it wouldn't be me. It wouldn't be me being authentic, who I am, if all I was thinking about is, did I say that word? Oh no, did I say that word? Is people going to think that I'm not speaking correctly? That could have stopped me from posting this because I would started to overthink, oh my goodness, well, did I say that? I'm going to need to run through. Am I going to need to record it again? But instead, and I understand exactly what she's saying. She only wants it to sound good. She wants it to be a success for me. And I love that. But also, would that be me being authentic? No, it wouldn't. Would it be me being raw? No, it wouldn't. Am I just a girl from Fife? A little bit of slang accent sometimes. Yes. So when you are authentic, automatically people are drawn to you. Naturally, people are drawn to you. They're magnetised to that authenticity because you're real. And we're not performing. I'm not a puppet performing. I'm me. It's raw. It's unfiltered. And that's what I want it to be. And that's because when I look at my self-concept and who I am, there's nobody else that I could be but me. I've worked very hard to be able to stand and look in that mirror and look back at that reflection and know how worthy she is. So why am I going to change just to possibly get the validation from somebody else? Why am I going to possibly make something less authentically me just to get the validation from somebody else that somebody else would maybe think it sounds good or a little bit better, or somebody might critique it? And everybody's allowed to have their own opinions. That's the beauty of us being human, isn't it? We're allowed to have our own opinions. Some people like to give them more than others, especially on social media. The keyboard warriors can be a bitch sometimes, can't they? They really can. But that's people, see these keyboard warriors, that's insecure people sitting behind a computer that have not got the balls to, one, probably post themselves, or two, ever come and say that to your face. Because you trigger that in them. You're being authentic, you're being you. And they're looking at you thinking, subconsciously, why can't I do that? I want to be doing that. So what they do is they try to put you down. But when you stand in your authenticity, you stand in your magnetism, the negative comments, it's like water off a duck's back. They don't define you. They don't define who you are. They do not define your success. You get to decide what your success is. You get to decide what your success looks like. And automatically, that pressure dissolves. When you stop searching for that validation from other people and you start validating yourself, that pressure's away. It dissolves. You're not given that power anymore. So ask yourself, the next time you're going to post on social media, who am I doing this for? How is this going to make me feel? Thank you so much for listening. And as always, today is already an amazing day.